Hey guys, I'm Hellhound, and I figured I would have time for a quick movie review today. Got myself a day off from work, and nothing better to do. So, I was going to review Phantasm, which is one of my favorite movies, and it's long overdue for me to make a video about it, but there's way too much to cover, and it will take a lot more energy than I really have right now. So, let's go with Prom Night instead. The 1980s slasher Prom Night, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, who was in a lot of horror movies around the time. Halloween 1 and 2, Terror Train, The Fog, and I think a couple others. But it was one of the 80s slashers. One of the better ones, I would say. Not, anything too great, but not bad. Pretty good movie. I despise this cover. The original cover, the VHS cover, had the killer, the slasher villain, wearing a ski mask and holding a knife, and then they had another cover of Jamie Lee Curtis, just kind of standing there during the prom holding flowers. And for some reason they decided to put this cover on one of the DVD releases, the one I was unfortunate enough to get. Do you notice anything familiar about it? Her face? No? Well, I'll show you. H2O, the 7th entry in the Halloween series. Now look at that still from the movie. Look familiar? Well, that's because they used the exact same shot. So, this stupid picture actually comes from H2O and not Prom Night. I don't know why they did that. But whatever, who cares? Anyway, let's get into the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis plays Kim. Her and her brother Alex, played by Michael Tuff, I guess that's how it's pronounced. Tough. I guess that spells tough. I guess that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. They lost another sister, like I think 6 years before. It shows at the beginning. This sister's name was Robin Hammond. She was accidentally killed by some other kids, including Nick, played by Casey Stevens. They accidentally caused her to fall out the window, and some sex offender or rapist I think his name was Leonard, he was blamed for it and taken to jail. And so these kids kept this a secret all these years. Yeah, that's right. I Know What You Did Last Summer ripped off this movie heavily. They kept the secret all these years. Now they're all in high school or getting ready for prom. Kim actually goes to the prom with Nick, or they're going to be elected prom king and queen, as it would seem. A killer has been killing off people one by one. And it seems to be the same people who were responsible for Robin's murder all those years before, mostly. And I won't give away who the killer's identity is. I won't tell you who it is, who's behind the madness. But it's a pretty cool look, as I said, with the black ski mask and, the pretty full body suit. Not the greatest slasher villain, but, not one of the worst either. And so that's the basic premise. People being killed during a prom, before and after, too. And there's a lot of red herrings, as I said, the rapist, the creepy janitor, Mr. Sykes, who keeps getting flirted with by one of the other teens, played by Peta Oliver, who I think actually survives the movie. I don't think she dies at all. I could be mistaken. It's been a long time to watch this. I should have watched it before I did a review. It's a bad habit of mine not to watch movies so they're fresh in my mind when I do a video, so it kind of goes by memory. But I guess that's my trademark. It's what I'm known for, I guess. Sure, why not? Pretty good slasher film, if not a little bit generic and by the numbers, but it was one of the earlier ones too. It uses that same simple formula, but a lot of the movies that came after, you could say maybe they're the ones that kind of rehash that same format over and over. I hate this cover so bad, it's ridiculous. But I want to get the real cover, the VHS copy, which I don't have yet. This also has Leslie Nielsen as the principal, playing a serious role. I actually like when he plays in serious movies. He also did really good in Creepshow. Where he played Richard, the murderous jealous ex-husband who buries his wife and her lover up to their necks in the sand, which was really well done. He was just awesome in that role. He played a few other serious roles. He was good, but you mostly know him for comedies like Airplane and Naked Gun and stuff. That's pretty much what he's best at, I guess. But he was really good here too. And Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, does well as Kim. Her and Nick, played by Casey Stevens. The excitement of the whole prom is put to a dead stop because of the murders. And there's a lot of weird subplots in this movie too. Some of them don't go anywhere. That's my only complaint. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hard watching now. There's a lot of really boring scenes that drag on. I said there's a lot of needless, unnecessary subplots and red herrings. There's even a scene where I think the janitor is hiding in a closet and he witnesses one of the teens being killed or being stalked by a real killer. What else is there to say? It's prom night. You won't be returning home. Oh, sorry. If you're not back by midnight, you won't be returning home. I forgot the first part of it. Out of all the horror films Jamie Lee Curtis is in, this is probably my least favorite. I like Terror Train a lot better. That had a killer who wears a different costume each time he kills, and then it was a pretty cool twist at the end, although I saw it coming. Also, the train setting was neat. As I said, this was one of the first ones. It's still really good. It's very basic. All the things that you're used to seeing in 80s slasher films are prevalent here. All the themes, all the twists and turns. As I said, I won't give away the identity of the killer, even though it's kind of obvious. You might figure it out. I'm pretty sure I did. It's been so long because I saw this for the first time years and years ago. I don't even really remember when I thought about it the first time, but I think I did figure out who the killer's true identity as well. Prom Night from 1980, directed by Paul Lynch. I'd recommend it. I'd give it about, probably really deserves a 7, but I might give it an 8 out of 10, because as I said, it was one of the first, one of the early 80s slashers, came out in 1980, so, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'd recommend it, as I said. It's Canadian, too, so, there's that. But anyway, Prom Night. And now, usually, when I do a movie review, I talk about all the sequels and even the remakes sometimes in the same video. And, Prom Night was followed by 3 sequels and a shitty remake that you need to avoid, because it sucks. Now, Prom Night, Hello, Mary Lou, Prom Night II introduced a new villain and a supernatural theme. The new villain was Mary Lou Maloney, who was accidentally burned to death during her prom, back in the 50s, I think. And so she returns in the 80s seeking revenge as a evil spirit with various powers. She even possesses the main girl, Wendy Lyon, Vicky, played by Wendy Lyon. And she wants revenge. She's really malevolent. Even when she was alive, she wasn't a very good person. And so this one has a supernatural theme. I like to call it, it's kind of like a cross between a Carrie and a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's very good. It's probably my favorite of the series, actually. It's even better than Prom Night, in my opinion, at least. But it's definitely very different. They really only use the title, I guess, to get people to see it, even though I don't know that Prom Night was really that big of a hit. But it introduces a whole new villain and a supernatural theme. And that story was continued in Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss. Mary Lee returns, this time with a boyfriend who she's seducing, and he even cheats on his girlfriend with her, and all kinds of weird stuff happens. And then Prom Night 4, Deliver Us from Evil, reverts back to the slasher format of the first movie. It's unrelated to all the other ones. Mary Lou isn't in it. Has nothing to do with the others, just a sequel in name only. So it kind of reminds me of the Slumber Party Massacre series and the Silent Night, Deadly Night series. Some entries had nothing to do with others, and some were realistic, others were supernatural, that's kind of what it reminds me of. That's the Prom Night series. And so, as I said, each entry's going to get their own video. I don't know if I'll do 2 or 3, but I think this sequel deserves its own episode, its own review. So, So stay tuned for the review of Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night II. That's better. Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night II. Oh yeah. This may or may not be my next review, but it does deserve its own video. And as I said, it's my favorite entry of the series, so I'll be reviewing it eventually, so look out for that sometime soon. Prom Night II. Alright, well, that was my review of Prom Night from 1980, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. Go see it if you haven't already. Check out the sequels too. As I said, I'll cover the second movie eventually. Avoid the remake. It's terrible. It's has nothing on the original. So, what else can I add? I remember my prom night. It was lots of fun. Me and my girlfriend at the time went there. Then went to the after party, which was at the gym, and we swam in the pool. And we didn't bring a change of clothes. We definitely didn't want to change into our suits, my tuxedo and her nice dress. We didn't want to put that on after we swam. So we just drove home in our bathing suits, and then lit some candles and put some curtains over the bed. Whatever. Okay, yeah, it was a fun day. So yeah, prom night. All right, guys. Well, I'm Hellhound. Thank you for watching my show, and until next time.